A girl transmigrates into a 300-pound obese woman and is forced by the emperor to marry an idiot. Her name is Shen Ningyue. She went to the mountains to collect herbs for her doctoral thesis. But she got lost and starved to death. When she opened her eyes, she found herself wearing a red wedding dress. And her body was covered in rolls of fat. Confused, she looked outside and realized she was in the middle of a wedding procession. Fortunately, the groom ahead looked quite handsome. But the handsome facade didn't last more than 3 seconds. The groom's demeanor suddenly changed. The man in his 20s suddenly stuck his fingers in his mouth. He, pretty sister. So many pretty sisters. Shen Ningyue was shocked. Holy crap, he's actually an idiot. The groom suddenly remembered he had a bride and quickly turned around. He caught a glimpse of Shen Ningyu's head peeking out. He burst into tears. Help! It's a monster. This prince doesn't want to marry a fat pig. Enraged, Shen Ningyue jumped out of the bridal sedan. Well, your grandaunt doesn't want to marry an idiot either. The matchmaker and maid hurried to pull her back. But she was surprisingly strong and easily threw them off. Then she ran off in a random direction. Your grandaunt is done playing with you all. But as she was running, someone grabbed her shoulder. Your Highness, please return to the procession. Shen Ningyue grabbed his hand. Return my ass. She executed a perfect shoulder throw, flooring him. The foolish prince clapped happily. So fun. The fat meat hit someone. Catch the fat meat. Shen Ningyue cupped her hands. Gentlemen, farewell. From now on, we part ways. May we never meet again. But alas, she was grabbed by the ankles and face planted hard on the ground. Several guards immediately pounced on her. The wedding procession then arrived at the prince's mansion amidst their cries. The foolish prince wailed, I won't marry a fat corpse. While Shen Ningyue roared, I don't want to marry an idiot either. Unexpectedly, a voice spoke softly from the high seat. Are you dissatisfied with my imperial decree? You two are the jade maiden and golden pupil I've carefully selected. Such a talented couple, a match made in heaven. Why are you making such a fuss here? Shen Ningyue shuddered, and the ropes binding her crumbled. Me, well matched with an idiot? Then she pointed at the emperor and shouted angrily, You baldy, you want to lose your hair? Surprisingly, the emperor's hair instantly fell out. He touched his bald head in disbelief. My beautiful hair. The foolish prince pointed at the emperor's head and laughed. Ha, baldy. Baldy doesn't worry about rain. The emperor was furious. Guards, take this witch out and behead her. The foolish prince raised his hand in protest. No beheading. Fat meat makes people bald. Fat meat is fun. Shen Ningyue was in tears. What? I just got here and I'm already facing execution? At this moment, a young eunuch hurriedly stopped the enraged emperor, advising that such a witch would be perfect for the third prince. The emperor's expression changed instantly. He grinned, putting his arm around the young eunuch's shoulder. Well done, you. The young eunuch smirked. I wouldn't dare, Your Majesty. The emperor declared, since the emperor approves. We shall not pursue this matter. Proceed with the ceremony quickly. The foolish prince was shocked. What? We still have to get married? Then he was grabbed by the arms by servants and forced to bow with Shen Ningyue. Shen Ningyue realized they were bowing to the emperor. She cursed under her breath, Bow to you? May you get hit by a horse when you go out. After the couple bowed to each other, the emperor ordered them to be sent to the bridal chamber. When the foolish prince heard he had to enter the bridal chamber with Shen Ningyue, he immediately started wailing. Shen Ningyu's body burst into flames, and she started fighting the guards. The foolish prince also started punching the guards weakly. Bad people, I'll kill you. His whimpering contrasted sharply with Shen Ningyu's dragon-like roars. Finally, after sacrificing many guards, they managed to tie the two up. Seeing such a lively scene in the imperial family, the emperor said, Now I can rest assured. As he walked out, he chuckled, Miss Shen and the Emperor are truly a perfect match. A perfect match indeed, haha. Several guards exerted their strength together and threw the couple into the room. Shen Ningyue crashed onto the floor with a boom, creating a crater. She sprang up like a carp, shattering the ropes binding her. Annoyed, she wondered who she had offended. Others who transmigrated became stunning beauties with golden fingers, but she became an ugly fatty who could destroy heaven and earth. The foolish prince asked Shen Ningyue to untie him too, but she ignored him, determined to find a way to escape. She cracked open the door and saw no one outside. She immediately walked out. The foolish prince kept shouting, Fat meat, don't go. Untie this prince first. Shen Ningyue made a face at him. Untie yourself, little idiot. Bye-bye, we'll never meet again. But before she could finish, a sharp blade nearly poked her face. At this moment, the emperor had just walked out of the prince's mansion gate. A swift horse suddenly knocked the emperor flying. He soared into the sky with a whoosh. The young eunuch chased after him, yelling, Your Majesty, wait for me. Shen Ningyue, with the blade pointed at her, burst into laughter. Spare me, good sir. The guards, clad in armor and wielding weapons, surrounded her. Princess, please return. Shen Ningyue raised her hands. Brother, can we negotiate? But she was mercilessly locked back inside. Furious, she clenched her fists, making cracking sounds. Just you wait. By now, the foolish prince had untied himself. With a mocking face, he said, Oh, you're back? Aren't you going to seek your happy little life? Shen Ningyue snorted coldly, I'm back to sleep. She started undressing. The foolish prince's ears turned red with embarrassment. You shameless woman! How dare you undress to seduce this prince? Shen Ningyue gave him a disdainful look. You're thinking too much. With a loud thud, she lay down on the bed. The foolish prince looked at her unhappily. This is my bed. Get off. He used all his strength to pull Shen Ningyue, but she didn't budge an inch. Shen Ningyue lifted him up with just 2 fingers. It's mine now. The foolish prince angrily said, Get up quickly. This prince won't sleep with you. Shen Ningyue tossed him out with one hand. Go sleep on the floor. I don't want to sleep with you either. The foolish prince hugged a pillow and whimpered, I'm letting you off easy. Fat meat is bullying me. He started singing pitifully, Little cabbage, yellow in the field. In the cold night, the foolish prince curled up on the floor, freezing. Shen Ningyue glanced at the shivering foolish prince on the floor. She got up and gently covered the foolish prince with the quilt. She then covered herself with her wedding dress she had just taken off, thinking they were both pitiful creatures, so she wouldn't bully him anymore. The supposedly sleeping foolish prince opened his eyes. His long phoenix eyes were clear and sharp, showing no sign of foolishness. On the bed, Shen Ningyue was still lamenting that when others transmigrated, they either had a silver spoon or a golden finger, but she got a body full of fat. As she fell into deep sleep, someone woke her up. She opened her eyes groggily. She found herself standing on clouds. Startled, she thought, with my current weight, I won't fall through, right? Suddenly, an ethereal voice rang out, This is the 9th layer of auspicious clouds, the place where the golden phoenix descends. In the distance, an angelic silhouette, backlit by the sun, flew towards her. Shen Ningyu's eyes widened. Mom, I see an angel. A girl transmigrates into a 300-pound obese woman, and is forced by the emperor to marry an idiot. But fortunately, she has a golden finger. In her dream, she encounters a holy light. An immortal calling himself the Golden Phoenix Immortal comes to guide her. But what she saw was an old man riding a giant rooster, flying towards her with a proud look on his face. Shen Ningyue was disappointed. Some golden phoenix you are. Have you no shame? The old man was furious. How dare you? I went to great lengths to find this mortal body for you. Instead of thanking me, you speak such nonsense. Veins popped on Shen Ningyu's forehead. So you're the one who gave me this body full of fat and threw in an idiot husband as a bonus? Unaware of the danger, the old man waved his hand dismissively. No need to thank me, no need. It's all part of my job. Shen Ningyue grabbed the old man's hand. She swung him around in an instant. Then I'll thank your uncle's aunt. With fists as big as clay pots, she pummeled the old man's face. Your great-grandmother spent 5 years on a bachelor's, 3 years on a master's, and 2 years on a doctorate. I was finally about to finish, and you just toss me here? How can you face all the money my father spent on my education? The giant rooster backed away in fear. What a terrifying woman. The old man cried out in pain, my leg's going to break. Don't repay kindness with enmity. Didn't you starve yourself to death? I saved you. Shen Ningyue quickly stopped. She remembered getting lost in the forest in her previous life and starving to death. The old man, his face now black and blue, continued to retreat. So I put your soul in this this young lady. With so much in stock, you surely won't starve to death again. He patted the fat on Shen Ningyu's belly. Shen Ningyue raised her fist to strike again. The old man hurriedly offered compensation, 3 superpowers. First, curse. You can inflict a non-lethal curse on someone with 100% success. Like making them bald or fall into a sewer while walking. For example, that unlucky emperor's live hair loss demonstration. Second, truth or dare. You can randomly trigger either truth-telling or a random dare on someone. They won't resist for 5 minutes. Third, healing. You can cure one of these ailments with 100% success. 1. Choking on water. 2. Biting your tongue while eating. 3. Hitting your head on a doorframe. Shen Ningyue went berserk. What the hell use are these superpowers? Unexpectedly, the giant rooster attacked her from behind. It kicked her off the cloud. Shen Ningyue screamed, if I ever see you two again, I'll pluck you bald with my own hands. Shen Ningyue woke up screaming on the bed. The foolish prince was startled awake too. Shen Ningyue touched her head. That scared me to death. I thought I was a goner again. But with a loud crack, because she got up too quickly, the solid wood bed collapsed under her weight. She fell to the floor with a thud. The foolish prince shouted, oh no. The fat meat broke the bed. Shen Ningyue, annoyed, told him to shut up. But the foolish prince noticed her hand was cut by a wood splinter. He started shouting again, help. The fat meat is dying. Someone come save her. Shen Ningyue irritably told him to be quiet. But the foolish prince took her chubby hand. No, you're bleeding. They say you die if you bleed. Shen Ningyue looked up at the idiot before her, thinking he might be stupid, but he was quite handsome. Just then, the guards heard the shouting and hurriedly pushed open the door. They saw the collapsed bed and the two standing close together, holding hands. The guards' faces instantly turned red. The prince and princess played too intensely. Who knew the prince was so capable? Shen Ningyue, mortified, chased them all out. The foolish prince rubbed his beaten head. He made empty threats, you wicked woman. How dare you treat me like this? I'll make you pay. The world finally quieted down. Shen Ningyue went for a walk in the garden. Suddenly, she heard people gossiping about her. I'm telling you, that fat woman even broke the bed. It's a miracle she didn't crush that idiot to death. Shen Ningyue was furious. She wanted to see who dared to wag their tongues. 2 old maids were behind a rockery. I say that fatty must be some kind of monster. Come on, what monster would be that fat? A spider demon, maybe? They burst into laughter. The fatty and the idiot make quite a pair. Shen Ningyue was so angry she could spit blood. Her body burst into flames like the great demon Cain. You two think you're the only ones who can talk in this mansion? If you can talk, say more. One was about to apologize, but the other stopped her. She raised an eyebrow at Shen Ningyue. Your Highness, how can you call our prince an idiot? That's treason. Shen Ningyu's face darkened. Are you trying to pin this on me? Would you like to try vomiting once? The two backed away in fear. Your Highness, I just remembered I need to feed my child. I'll take my leave now. Shen Ningyue grabbed her back. Don't you want to share who's backing you? Who gave you the courage to be so arrogant? The two old maids swore they were absolutely loyal to the prince. Shen Ningyue smiled. Is that so? Then I'm relieved. Just as the two sighed in relief, thinking they'd escaped, Shen Ningyue patted their shoulders. After all, those disloyal to the prince in this mansion will catch the balding virus. Something's happened so suddenly. The two wailed, touching their shiny bald heads. Oh, mother. I don't want to be bald. Shen Ningyue thought to herself, based on my years of reading comics, the foolish prince's mansion must be full of spies planted by villains. I hope those superpowers the bald old man mentioned in my dream last night are real. Otherwise, I'll definitely braise his chicken. The old man in the sky sneezed violently. Who's talking bad about me behind my back? Shen Ningyue secretly glanced at the foolish prince, who was playing happily. She sighed. Though we're a couple by convenience, considering you cried when I cut my hand, I'll look after you from now on. Daddy's got your back. Just then, miserable wails erupted from the mansion. Help! What's happening? Am I going to die? A girl transmigrates into a 300-pound obese woman and is forced to marry a foolish prince. This foolish prince is no ordinary one. Half the people in his mansion are actually undercover agents. That day, while the foolish prince was happily playing in the sand, terrible screams echoed through the mansion. Guards immediately came to protect the foolish prince. But they couldn't stop in time and knocked the foolish prince flying. 4 people rushed out. Blue 11, 12, 13, and 14 came to protect. Shen Ningyue picked up the knocked-over foolish prince. You've knocked the prince flying. What protection is this? Who are you people? Since you've asked so sincerely, we'll graciously tell you. Blue 11, Blue 13, 14. We're the guards responsible for looking after the prince. Shen Ningyue looked disdainfully at these unreliable guards. She told them to gather everyone in the front courtyard to see what was going on. Soon, everyone was assembled. Shen Ningyue, pulling the foolish prince along, wanted to see who was making all the fuss. But the scene before her left her dumbfounded. In the crowd in the front courtyard, there were shiny bald heads everywhere. Shen Ningyu's mouth twitched. This is because I said those disloyal to the prince would turn bald? There sure are a lot of undercover agents in this mansion. The old maid from earlier rushed towards Shen Ningyue, crying, Princess, please have mercy. Don't let this servant go bald. Shen Ningyue, overwhelmed by the visual shock, couldn't control her strength and sent the old maid flying. The noisy crowd below fell silent instantly. Shen Ningyue cleared her throat. Ahem. You old hag, since you've caught the balding disease, don't come near the prince. Then, in a voice like an old demon, she shouted, Do you want to infect the prince? The crowd below was shocked. What? It's contagious? Shen Ningyue made up a story. The balding virus is a terminal illness that causes rapid hair loss. It's highly contagious. Look at the emperor, he got infected and went bald in public too. The people below wailed, covering their bald heads. Terminal illness? Does that mean we'll die? Mom, I don't want to die. 13 hugged 14, crying, No, 13 doesn't want this. If 13 goes bald, no one will like 13 anymore. 14 comforted him, It's okay, no one likes you even with hair. Shen Ningyue pointed at the crowd of bald heads below. Have you all been in contact with the emperor or people around him? Those who are bald, please go to the accounting office to collect your money and leave. It's not that I'm driving you away, I'm protecting the prince's hairline. At these words, those still with hair immediately drove out the bald ones. Shen Ningyue heaved a sigh of relief. Finally got rid of them all. I didn't expect there to be so many undercover agents. 13. Looking at Shen Ningyu's majestic figure, his eyes shining, the princess has only been here for a day and already knew about the undercover agents in the mansion. So smart, decisive, and strategic. Shen Ningyue thought to herself, now that I have superpowers, to be more ceremonious and intimidating, shouldn't I equip myself with a more badass weapon? Avada Kedavra? No, that's not good. Balala magic energy? That's not quite right either. I'll choose this one then. After a series of clanging and banging, Shen Ningyue revealed a smug smile. Let your mother take a look at this little cutie. A girl transmigrates into a 300-pound obese woman and is forced to marry into the foolish prince's mansion, where 99% are undercover agents. To protect the foolish prince, Shen Ningyue forged a magic staff. But looking at it, something seemed a bit off. Unsatisfied, she struggled for another 2 hours, resulting in a pile of misshapen creations. She finally chose the first one. Ugly is fine, as long as it's powerful. Then, with an evil grin, she prepared to find an unfortunate soul to test it on. In the garden, the foolish prince was happily chasing butterflies. An old man with ill intentions called out to him. Oh my, our prince has lost weight these past 2 days. Is that fat princess bullying you? The foolish prince teared up adorably. Steward Lu, that chunk of fat won't let this prince sleep on the bed. Wah! Steward Lu whispered, I know a secret method to become stronger. Would the prince like to try? As he spoke, he led him to the side bridge. The foolish prince followed naively. Shen Ningyue happened to see this person deceiving the fool. Look at that despicable face. He's definitely up to no good. She decided to use him to test her new magic staff's power. Steward Lu led the foolish prince to the dog kennel. The foolish prince looked at the dumb-looking yellow and black dogs. Angrily, he asked Steward Lu why they were there. If you don't tell me, I'm leaving. Steward Lu grabbed the foolish prince's hand. Pointing at the dog poop on the ground, he said, Your Highness, this is the secret method. The foolish prince was shocked. What is this? It stinks. I don't want it. Steward Lu deceived him. It's effective because it stinks. The smellier, the stronger. After a series of lies, he almost convinced the foolish prince. Just as he was about to pick up the dog poop, 11 saw him. 11 and Shen Ningyue quickly called out to stop the foolish prince. Shen Ningyue roared, Who the hell is bullying my family's idiot? She charged forward at a speed of 3.33 meters per jong. Those who bully my idiot, go to hell. With a move called, Crow Flies the Plane, Steward Lu's face smashed into the poop with a splat. The foolish prince backed away in fear. 11, who was running over, immediately stopped Shen Ningyue. He pulled the foolish prince's ear. You believe anyone who tricks you? Grow a brain, will you? Then he pointed at 11. How are you watching over the prince? Can't even keep an eye on a 3-year-old? Shen Ningyue, hands on her hips, gave them a good scolding. The two knelt on the ground, whimpering. Steward Lu, lying on the ground, suddenly woke up and let out a smelly roar. Who dares to hit me? Shen Ningyue turned back coldly. What? This prince not only dares to hit you but doesn't even need to pick a date for it. Steward Lu, completely unaware of the danger, dared to threaten. I, the steward, was kindly sent by the crown prince to look after the prince. How dare a fat woman like you bully me? You, a fat concubine born, dare to lay hands on the crown prince's people? Shen Ningyu's face turned as black as a wok bottom. Did he just call me fat? And twice at that? Steward Lu continued muttering, To beat a dog, one must consider its master. Aren't you afraid? Before he could finish, the magic staff was shoved into his mouth. Shen Ningyue smiled. Oh, so you're a dog? Come on, bark a couple of times for us to hear. 11 and the prince tilted their heads, looking at the staff. What's that stick thing? Steward Lu tried to curse loudly. But what came out was a series of woof woof sounds. Shen Ningyue looked at the silly-looking magic staff in her hand with satisfaction.